This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Here for days, and while I've seen a bunch of people get stopped, I've seen thousands and thousands of cars drive by.
Police presence on the main route towards Burning Man is worrying some of this year's attendees. A look at who's making the traffic stops and where this is happening. It tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. Well, we've seen on social media folks heading out to the Black Rock Desert. Many have been vocal about more traffic stops occurring on the way to this year's event. I'm Kristen Remington.
And I'm Landon Miller. Thank you for joining us. So we wanted to see firsthand for ourselves just how frequently people are being pulled over. We send it now out to Ryan Kennedy, who's live in Wadsworth, near where many of these stops are being reported. And Ryan, we've heard from some of our viewers that some cars are being stopped. A lot of cars are being stopped. But is that really the case?
No, not really, Landon, not even close. In fact, we've been out here in Wadsworth and even Nixon for really a few hours, and we've seen hundreds of, RVs, trailers, art cars, cars like these, driving out to the playa, and we've only seen 2 cars get stopped.
It's not red, it's like a backup light.
Right in the heart of Nixon, the Bureau of Indian Affairs pulled over this burner. The man doesn't have a license plate on the back of the vehicle, and the tail lights are worn out. While he doesn't want to share his name, he wants fellow burners to hear more about his experience with BIA officials.
He was a really nice officer and didn't hassle me that much at all. Just took my paperwork. That was it.
In fact, he was even allowed to leave with nothing but a warning. But still, he and other burners encourage all travelers to be better on the roads because nobody wants a ticket.
They should have their turn signal lights working. They should have their brake lights working. But in general, I don't think there's any reason to boycott an area because the federal government has decided to come in and...
Santiago is one of many merchants in Nixon who feels business could be affected because of the BIA traffic stops. He says travelers avoiding the area is unfair for the commerce of Nixon. He also feels that the police activity isn't too off from the norm, so law-abiding citizens really have nothing to be afraid of.
There's always people getting pulled over on the road, and it hasn't been, there are no roadblocks, there's no checkpoints. There's just more cops than normal though.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs told us over the phone they'll only pull over a vehicle if they're violating a traffic law. If officers discover drugs during the process, they will confiscate them. And Burning Man officials have released a statement on the police activity on the road to the playa, saying in part, quote, "While we respect and appreciate the important work of law enforcement, we are greatly concerned by the real and potential negative impacts of this surge in activity." And yeah, Burning Man officials also continue and say with these increased stops, they fear that the traffic congestion will increase even larger than what it usually is on a typical year. Covering the story live in Wadsworth, Ryan Kennedy, Channel 2 News.